society, celebrating together so joyfully. Words pour out from our kind souls. There is no place for inflated egos. This place is home to you and me. Surroundings familiar, a community. Let's write the words from our minds. All those adventures will be sublime. This group belongs to the member poets, caring and sharing those precious moments. Let's laugh together, then share some tears, emotions displayed without anxiety or fear. Quill and Parchment Society, elevating poets, honoring art, enriching souls, celebrating community.
Hey, Zach. How's it going?
Bill. Excited. Look forward to this.
Yeah, we are, aren't we?
Yeah.
I'm going to open up with welcoming everybody that's on the board there. This is the reading list brought to you by the poets of the Quill and Parchment Society, our group on all poetry. If you like what we're doing here and want to check us out, go ahead and head over to All Poetry, find our group, and you'll see what we're doing there. This is only just a part of it. There's some wonderful things going on in our group as we grow. And speaking of growth, do you know how many members we're up to now, Zach?
Last time I checked, it was 40, but I suspect
41. We got another.
Nice.
This is so exciting to see that it moving like that, isn't it?
Definitely.
To grow. And you've been here from the beginning, Zach. We kind of launched this with the idea of the podcast and things like that, but there's so much more going on in our group that we're so proud of. The first thing I want to talk about is everybody like yourself, Zach, that has taken a hold of the concepts and started growing it and suggesting things of their own that fit perfectly within the dynamic of our group. And it allows us such an outlet. Those coordinators, the people like you that are doing so well. And I just want to make sure and mention them so everybody gets used to who they are and knows who to talk to in certain instances if they have questions about certain things. So Deborah Lee 05 is the group greeter. She's going to be the first contact for new members, and she's doing a bang up job. of making new poets feel welcome. And then I have to mention Merv. Murph really, he has his hands in a lot of stuff and is a very, very interesting fella as far as how far out he goes into different mediums to explore art. And they're all wonderful. He does some stuff on Suno, Mr. Envy. And then he brought that into our group and started running a music topic board there on our group. And it's a wonderful thing that people didn't realize were there. And it is a whole lot of fun too.
It is.
And there's that it's a ball, isn't it, Zach? And some of the stuff that Yumpy is doing with the contests, he is our contest coordinator and really has taken the reins of that and ran. One of his suggestions was for Poet of the Month, which is a big deal. I mean, we've went so far as to he created a nice little icon that that was actually put on the front of our group board to where it can be plainly seen. And the plan is, Yumpy and I are in conversations about this and figuring out exactly how we're going to do it. The plan is to bring that also to the podcast in a Poet of the Month, maybe show, or at least a highlight for a section of a show. We haven't quite worked out exactly what we're going to do, but the idea is there because we want to celebrate each other in our community, guys. We want to celebrate each other. And this is not at all about winning, losing, who's good, who's not. It's about celebrating poetry, celebrating our group and community. And that's just another way we're doing it. Yumpy, that's a heck of an idea. And I always want to make sure that people are aware of all these things that are going on. So then obviously that comes to you and me, Zach. What do we do here? We have fun creating this podcast, don't we?
Oh, we sure do.
You want to go ahead and expound on what you feel like, everything, any of that you want to talk about, Zach?
Sure. It's just it's something I look forward to. I keep reiterating that, but I mean, it's exciting. It's just the love for poetry runs deep. It's something that I cherish, and a community too, a sense of community, fostering that with others, and growing with like-minded individuals and friends, and the community is very fulfilling for me. And I've been at it for a while, and it's definitely been a bit of a growth process, and it's great. It's you could really feel the growth.
Really, we can.
Trend, yeah, increments.
We talk about it all the time, don't we, Zach? We're like,
right.
Holy cow! I remember putting out there when we had our first 20, 22 or 25 members. The core group that started everything. Kind of. I remember getting started there and thinking, boy, I'm going to have to cap this at 50. Where we got to rein this in, and that's getting ready to be by the wayside. I'm sure nobody's going to want to cap any growth, but with that growth comes opportunity, guys. And this is what I'm getting at, Zach. You really led me pretty well into this. There's opportunity. There's opportunity to help judge some of the contests, like Poet of the Month. If you're interested, reach out to Yumpy. He'll be happy to instruct you, and he has it so well organized in ideas and things like that. If he needs some assistance with that judgment, in that, he is detailing the criteria and everything, and it is really, really a great thing. So if you're interested in that, reach out to Yumpy. If you're interested in calling into one of these shows and reading poetry and commenting with Zach and myself, reach out to any one of us, either Zach or myself. You can also ask Merv anything. If he can't answer it, he can direct you to the person. Deb as well. Already mentioned Yumpy again, and me and Zach. Those are the 5 coordinators now. Tressa Rose is also sitting here on the board, silent for now. But the plan is she's going to join us on here commentating because we needed a female voice, and she was the first one to respond. So we're going to be welcoming Tressa here very shortly. And Tressa, I'm going to mention it again. Zach and I thought you did a bang-up job in our practice run the other day. So
Absolutely.
We're excited about that. We're going to get to, after this show, this was the initial offering. It's the second edition of the initial offering. And these were front page picks. After that, Zach, we're going to go to our normal process of pulling all our poetry read for this show from the group reading list. So nobody will have to submit poems or anything. All they'll do is put them on the reading list. Zach's going to take them and populate them in the order that they come in, and we're going to just cut shows out of it. 12, 13, 14 poems, whatever we end up having time to read, we're going to do that. We have the system all worked out. We know where the poetry's going to come from. All you guys got to do is keep writing that good stuff for us to read. That's all you got to do. And Zach, anything you want to add to the organization of that? I think I've went through all the stuff I needed to, but any details, because for those of you that don't know it, Zach is the one populating and running the list. So he is actually, I consider us each producers of the podcast. That is our coordinator position, because we solely really concentrate on the podcasts and how to get that stuff there. Go ahead, Zach. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. So if you Parchies and any other of you folks following at home want to take a look at the group board and follow along with us at Podbean, or the links, I should say, for the poetry, you can find that on the topic board from the fourth one to the top under the Reading List Podcast Episode 2, Front Page Picks.
On all poetry.
On all poetry,
yes.
Correct.
Yes, on all poetry. And unfortunately, guys, if you're not on all poetry and a member of our group, you can't get to it to read along. You just get to listen.
Right.
But hopefully, maybe that motivates you to join in and writing some if you want to do that.
Yeah.
Are we ready, Zach? I think we've covered about everything we need to cover.
Yeah. I guess that would mean you're up first with SKN's poem, Years Later.
Fantastic. Well, give it a go. Once more, beneath her canopy I arrive. Rows of fluorescent lights, floorboards veiled in chalk haze, where the blackboard still bears lazy ghosts of multiplication tables. The desk is larger than memory, but smaller than a hesitation. A pencil stub, a coffee ring, the ruler split down the middle. Her cardigan murmurs like mothballs. Cinnamon and sandalwood. The blue buttons stitched crooked by patient fingers. Round-rimmed spectacles, edges dulled to pewter, catch a lattice of clouded reflections, perched precariously. Over the arch of her sharp nose, cradling an ocean-eyed gaze seeped into the most headstrong hearts. On the shelf, glass jars filled with dried petals, marigold, rose, hibiscus, labels curling like old yellow letters. She leans in the doorway, smile thin as ledger paper, decades tallied in corroded staples. Her hands, ink-stained and folded, could still command a group of children, or just me. Outside rain trembles on a single pigeon feather, vestige of fruitful flight across the chipped windowsills, unsure whether to fall. I place my palm on the curve of her plastic chair as she sits, drifting it down over her wrist, soft shadows through jaded pulse, and wonder when my teacher became older than the lessons she gave, yet younger than I am without her. in poem? Go ahead and dive into that one, Zach, if you're ready. SKN,
Oh, wow.
man.
Yeah, this one, this one was is very well lived, full of atmosphere. This kind of old nostalgic classroom. It was old but not decayed. There was still um, there's still memories that exist that aren't exactly hazy. They're very clear and sharply defined. I guess it's a mathematics classroom, so there's a particular sharpness to the details. And then we have a character study sort of after the setting of the teacher. And she seems very stoic to me. Stoic, and I really like her choice of decor, with the glass jars with the dried petals and all of that kind of stuff. And not only that, but she has a way with the, I guess, commanding children too, and in a way that the speaker remembers, and the speaker connects through that memory by sort of vicariously approaching the teacher's chair, as if she were still sitting there, and sort of just checking along the armchair, like along the side, as if the speaker were feeling for a pulse, as if she was still there, which made me think maybe she's perhaps passed or something, or just maybe just not there. But I really did enjoy this. This was a wondrous piece, and it just it left a lingering sense of nostalgia, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too, Zach. Boy, was it a great read. And I'm going to apologize to SKN because this poem it took me back to a place that I remember with a teacher. And my apology is because I started thinking about Mr. Tom Burns. That's what her poem did for me, was made me think of a teacher that I held in this regard. And I did go down and read the author's notes. Hi, SKN here. I hope you like this. Good teachers deserve to be remembered and visited at times. Isn't that so true? And you SKN, you did such a fabulous job with this scene that you remember so vividly and described so perfectly. It took me there, but then my own memories started coming in too of the teachers that I adored and that motivated me, and not just motivated me, but they understood me. And I think that's what this is. This is really honoring that teacher that SKN remembers being such a big influence in her life. What a wonderful tribute. It's an excellent piece, SKN. And I'm going to say this too. It had been a couple weeks, I think, since I've read anything by SKN, and I didn't forget how well she writes. Good job. Really enjoyed reading it.
Yeah, that was a great one. I guess next up is Purple Gerbera's poem, and that's entitled Ruth, and I'll give that one a read. My darling Ruth, tell me one of your scintillating truths. Speak in tongues. Whisper your love. The way you leave fuchsia-stained lipstick marks all over. Let me hear you, Ruth. Whisper the secrets you keep. Let me hear your siren voice from your burnt fuchsia lips. End poem.
That was short and sweet, wasn't it? It was really sweet. I really, you read it very well too, Zach. It got right through there. The rhythm and time was so nice. And clearly this is a picture of someone that is a love interest, it sounds like, but it could be something else. I mean, the fuchsia lips kind of makes you think it's a love interest, but it could be something else. We don't know. There aren't any author's notes. So I love poetry that lets the imagination wander, just as well as I love poetry that takes you to a snapshot in a moment, like we just read before. So this is kind of a different thing. And as much as I enjoy juxtaposition and contrast and stuff like that, the way we're starting off this show with these poems that are so distinctly different but excellent, both excellent pieces, makes me very happy. It makes for a fun, engaging show. And whoever my darling Ruth is, lucky lady. Up to you, Zach. What you got?
Absolutely. Yeah, this was short and sweet. And I just love initially how it starts off, my darling Ruth, tell me one of your scintillating truths. I like that initial assonance with the vowels. I mean, it's very romantic. Leaving kisses, fuchsia stained lipstick marks all over. That's very romantic, and speaking in tongues too. And there's a lot of imagery relating to speaking here and whispering, and like the secret sort of language that lovers have. And this poem really embodies that. And the speaker is just simply enraptured by the voice, siren voice. It doesn't normally, the siren voice has a kind of a negative connotation sometimes. I like the mythological siren, but this one seems to be not sort of vicious in that regard, but rather magnetic, I should say. I like that a lot. It just really it's sweet. It's sweet and very romantic. I really enjoyed this one.
What you said, Zach's absolutely true, and I thought about that the whole way through as I was listening to your comment, and I think mesmerizing is the word.
That's a good word.
Yes, the siren sound. And that's why I was unsure if it was romantic or not, because it could be a speaker that is very engaging as well. But there are romantic tones to it. So I love that drift and mesmerized by the voice. That's a wonderful thing. And you picked up on that. Well said, Zach. All right, man. What do we got now?
Oh, all right. Next up, we have Pac-Man's poem called The Jungle, and that's your read.
How is it here that I've been placed? My mother would keep me at home. How many tribulations will I have faced? What number the souls this soil has embraced? Beneath her canopy, the night falls hard. Wet leaves are naught but monochrome. The snake and leech, her calling card. The earth and soil, her vast graveyard. How is it here I've come to be, this muddy hole in jungle floor, thrust together, this hell in me? The river Styx shall taketh thee. All hail, my brethren, yet I be alone. This resembles not the oath I swore. Shall I yield to earth and stone, and remand to her my flesh and bone? I yet grow weary, but cannot sleep. I must stand watch till morning comes. The cold and damp sets in to creep. I'll not lay among her harvest reap. There is but one warning I must give, whilst enemies advance, in my ear still hums. I struggle to know, will his mother forgive, and understand our mutual desire to live? Who is it that lays her here beneath my feet? I feel his bones among the putrid rot. The destiny assigned he could not cheat, with numerous threats upon lies and deceit. Will I lay here as well my remains forget? Shall it bear witness to courage I have not? Will she demand her soil, my unpaid debt? Is it my death or his I've come to regret? End poem. Oh boy, Pac-Man. I'm glad you get to comment first there, Zach. I got to process this one for a second.
Wow, yeah, that was a really cool one. I really like how this is a moment of intense contemplation on top of a graveyard in like a jungle, and I think that's a really like in the middle of a jungle, like where it's really like the foliage is thick, and it's just a kind of a like a bit of a like a primal feeling. And I love how the speaker kind of absorbs the presence of the jungle. Really does. The earth and soil her vast graveyard. The leech, the snake, her calling card. I mean, I could just feel the speaker kind of becoming sort of not enraptured by the presence of the jungle, but just sort of contemplating how he came to be there, and like the past, present, future of that moment, of the ancestors buried beneath his feet, like how they came to be there, and I guess through battles past, and other and through other circumstances, but particularly through battle, and I got a sense of unfinished business. In the second to last stanza, while the enemies advance, and my ear still hums. So there's still a sense of like, I think this speaker might, I think might have even buried some loved ones, or is in the middle of some kind of great struggle or personal. It might be some kind of a vagabond, somewhat. Wandering
It reeks
soul.
of PTSD, doesn't it, Zach?
A bit, yeah. It's a lot going on in there, and it's winding, and I really enjoyed it. I really got into the mindset of the speaker, and it was very I keep saying contemplative, but like I just really enjoyed that. It took me out of my own head a little bit, and into the past, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it did the same for me, Zach. What you just said there, it took me out of my own head and put me in a jungle. Now, I believe, and I may be incorrect here, but specifically, this sounds like a Vietnam rite. Is what it sounds like. If you go to the jungle, and I don't know how old Pac-Man is, what his experiences were in this, but if that's what he's writing here, he did very well with what we all understand. And I'm not going to say I understand completely, but I understand through history the effect of this war. And then I did go down and read this simple author's notes contest, Ode to S.J. Bernstein. He was a social activist and an ardent anti-war protester. So that makes this perfectly. You understand why it's written. This is a protest of the death and, the things that stick with us through wars that have happened over and over and over again. But this has a sharp edge to it that definitely cuts through you and makes you start thinking about it. You said contemplative, Zach. You said it more than once. That's exactly what this is. This is inviting the contemplation from the reader of all this stuff that Pac-Man has described so well here. Like he had been there, in this scene that is probably an amalgamation of lots of death and chaos and senseless nonsense, that just doesn't make sense sometimes, over stuff that really truly doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
And people die. And that's so unfortunate. This was a very powerful piece that Pac-Man submitted, and along that lines, I'm going to apologize to you, Zach, because I there was that mix up there, and we're working through it just fine. Where this piece was submitted twice by accident.
Oh yeah,
right. But we're getting through it just fine. So that's really all I can say, except take a deep breath on this one, and we'll see. we'll see what's next, Zach.
Sounds good. And that's Joe J's piece, and that is titled Encased, and I'm gonna give that a read. Oh, mirror, mirror, you have saved me from my fall, encased me within your iron sanctuary. My soul's demanding repose. This world is far too cruel. My heart is fractured. I feel nothing. My shell is anesthetized. End poem.
Joe. Oh, what a good one, Joe. Short and sweet and to the point. Hit like a hammer. It feels there's a frustration to this. A frustration of wanting things to be more alive, I think. Not alive is the wrong word. Vivid. How about that? The excitement and Joe, I know Joe's personality from what I've seen here. She has a very outgoing, boisterous personality and is excited about life. She's mentioned in comments her and her husband and all that stuff. And I hope he's listening too, by the way, Joe. I see you're on the board. But this this seems like a little bit of reflective, I want everything to be wonderful and great. And it's just maybe a great day or a great week, just blah, blah, blah. Where's the excitement? And not feeling anything. And that's definitely not your personality, Joe. I know that from what I've read from you. You're more about the excitement and fun. So that's what I gathered out of this. It was a great piece to read, nice short. And all these are front page picks too, by the way. We should mention that, Zach. They are front page picks on All Poetry. So they're works that have been around and are very popular to read. Great write, Joe. Zach, your thoughts?
Oh man, yeah. I mean, it's visceral because imagine a mirror breaking your fall when you're falling from a certain height. That's intense. I mean, and then just falling within it as a means of escape, almost. Within the iron sanctuary of the mirror. This is very interesting sort of personification of the object, the mirror, sort of the speaker not exactly being trapped within it, but rather escaping within the mirror as a means to not be to be apart from Earth for just a little bit, because the world is far too cruel sometimes. And this really palpable sense of heartbreak has left the speaker essentially very empty feeling. And I feel that it's despite the emptiness, it's still got it's this very deep quality to it. Falling within a mirror. Yeah, that's a place to feel nothing and to be trapped for a while. And to sort of, I could just feel like floating almost in there, and being anesthetized within there. That's quite a word to use for the last line. Just becoming numb, but like, I guess it's just really cool. Brevity, really well to the point, and sharp, definitely.
Absolutely sharp. So I just read a comment on the board from Joe. It wasn't actually a personal piece, is what she said, which is even better.
Right.
Because as a motivational piece, encouragement, it works wonderfully, Joe. Thanks for adding that bit of information there live on the board. I was glad I seen that and read it.
Glad you
Well
saw
done.
that too. That gives a little more context. That's cool.
Yeah, it sure does,
Yeah.
doesn't it? It's definitely an added bonus there with the live comments. So we ready to move on, Zach?
Absolutely. Next up is Wednesday in October's piece, and that's Beach Grass and Day Drinks, and that's your read.
Thinking about beach grass and sandpipers and the way they scurry around you, paying no mind as they forage. We can day drink and scout the ocean. Warm wind in our hair, sand on our legs. stuck to sunblock applied at noon. As the sun roasts shoulders, golden freckles appear as quickly as they fade away in December. Can you hear sounds of waves pushing sand as the shell of some departed mollusk rolls to the shore? Daydreaming of lost horizons, surveying sailboats, tacking, and mulling over their journey's end. At our end, when moon shadows dance on the tide, I will still be thinking about sandpipers and beach grass. End poem. What do you think of that one, Zach?
It's beautiful. It's a bit of a landscape. It's an idyllic sort of beach setting, and it's a very inviting, welcoming piece, and almost dream like in its presentation. And it just reminds me of like bygone afternoon days on the beach, and I really enjoyed this setting, and day drinking at afternoon, and kind of letting nature exist around this beach setting while the speaker sort of enjoys it, and along with the audience, inviting the audience as well to kind of enjoy this whole entire day, and ending with the sandpipers and beach grass, kind of bringing that full circle back to this beginning. I really like that. Well done.
Yeah, it was so nice to read, and I'm going to let you guys in on something. I've known Wednesday for quite some time, not really real well, but we've bounced back and forth, and I've always been envious of how she can make a poem flow. Now, there's no real hard rhymes or anything like that to set a tempo, but she sets things up so beautifully with these sweeping phrases and words, and just well timed out to take you to a place and almost relax you, like you're there with her, in this scene she's describing. And to bring it back full circle with the sandpipers in the end is so neat how she did that, because this is really a memory of a day at the beach, but it's not so much. What is so beautiful about it is it isn't just the memory like it's a photograph. She takes you there, like you were there in the scene, enjoying it, and it comes back around full circle. It was a beautiful piece, and I loved reading it. What do you think, Zach?
Oh yeah, I liked hearing it too, and hearing it rather.
We ready to move to the next one, or
yes,
what you got?
Next one is Graveyard Gardens, and I wrote that. Here we go. I wrote troves of love letters on a classic floral-filled midnight. Pure oxygen, no carbon dioxide, shall wither in the air in my lungs. A lonely Saturday sonata made for her elvish-tipped ears, perchance to curl her full lips while she waters black tulips, velvety dahlias, and petunias. Glowing in a church's ruins, elder soil beneath Jesus' feet, blessed by crumbling statues, his head tumbling in a leer, land overgrown with trees. She toils without sitting, without sharing her struggles, tending her graveyard gardens with silence and attention. A lovely smile splits her face, where she is home. Her ghostly garden grows behind a wrought iron fence, hinges open at whispered breath. The lady of the graveyard tends to both life and death, not lonely among the flowers, her only children left. End poem.
Wow, Zach, well done. That read beautifully too, by the way. So I'm going to go ahead and comment, because I had a couple of thoughts on the perspective. It didn't, unless I missed it, it didn't actually say whether this was a ghost, specter, or if it was someone that was tending to a graveyard, an actual, human tending to the graveyard. And I kind of like both interpretations of it because I kind of faded between one and the other thinking about it. It was a lovely scene. And then I did look at the artwork you attached to it, and it does appear to be more of the Spectre type, but it had this nice Gothic tone to it that wasn't, it wasn't haunting, ghostly. It was comforting. And that's kind of neat because the juxtaposition, the contrast between like the beautiful flowers that you mentioned several times in different ways and things that she's tending to, but then it's the graves and the bodies, the people that are there, but she tends to, and I had to look up this line. It's there towards the bottom, and the way you closed it was beautiful, Zach. The lady of the graveyard tends to both life and death. Not lonely among the flowers, her only children left. So powerful the way you ended that, and so it was pretty, Zach. I mean, there's no other way around it. This is a pretty piece in a Gothic tone. You did very well, and it read beautifully. Go ahead, tell me what you thought of your piece there.
Yeah, thanks for that for that comment, man. I really appreciate it. This piece, I wrote this piece, kind of a song inspired it. A Silver Jew song called "The Wild Kindness." It starts off like I wrote a letter to a wildflower on a classic nitrogen afternoon, and I always thought that song was kind of Gothic to begin with. So I kind of took that line and some of that and formed an entirely different piece around that line, the concept, and just kind of made it even like tried to emphasize the Gothic nature of it, and I really enjoyed writing it.
Oh, yeah, it shows, Zach, because it had just a beautiful sweeping feel to it. Wisping through the graveyard, seeing all the beautiful things. It was well done. Very well
Thanks,
done.
Man.
So we ready to move to the next one?
Yes. Next up, we have Shamala's piece, and that's The Rough Riders. My Ponticles to the Rescue, and that's yours.
Well, we're going to change gears here a little bit. Been stuck in the pup ward, bored to the bone. Missing my squeaky duck, my snacks, my cone. Then vroom comes a van, orange, loud and bright. Windows down and tails mid-flight. Uncle Bernie's driving, grooving with flair. Wagon to tunes without a care. Bo rides shotgun, shades on his snout. Played bass for Bark Street till they kicked him out. Ed Barkington floofs in the very back seat, a sheepdog of chaos with 4 left feet. Boof from down under barks with glee. Oi, hop in, mate. Sit next to me. Snacks and a yacht, plus a lake to explore. I bounce down the steps. They swing wide the door. With gator float flapping and joy in my chest, we zoomed to the bayou, barking our best. Mom once said, with a chuckle and wink, your uncles are nuts, but cooler than you think. Now I'm rolling with legends. Make a wish come true. The Rough Riders and me, and a sky painted blue. End poem. That was so much fun. Go ahead, Zach.
Oh man, I had to mute myself because I was laughing a little bit. So I really enjoyed this one. This was groovy and funny. It just the moving and a grooving with the dogs. These dogs. A lot of interrogative verbs in the piece. And I really appreciated that. The ing verbs with the ending and the ins kind of put me in an interesting mood. And I really enjoyed how each how each dog has a kind of a funny name to them, and a different personality. Not only that, but they're all boisterous, and there's all dogs, so of course they're making noise. They're not sitting still, and I think I like that part the best. And they're just restless, and there's a real sense of camaraderie within that bus. I really enjoyed that piece. Very well done.
Oh, that if you guys can't see the prompt, it is absolutely delightful. It is. I mean, it tickles you just looking at the prompt. And then from there, Shyamala does so well with rhyme. She really is impeccable with her. And we have several poets that really write hard rhyme very well. But Shyamala's one that I've always appreciated. And she'll even comment on poetry in rhyme. That's how much committed she is to it. So it's always been fun.
Those, yeah.
It's always been fun for me to read her comments on my poetry because she'll rhyme them. But this I had read before, Zach, so I kind of knew what it was, but I had read so much that it was fresh to me again. And I forgot how sweet and humorous it is. To be honest with you, a limerick is only 5 lines. Okay. Mm-hmm. And it's only 5 lines because it is usually funny. And somebody reading it, if you're reading it out loud, wouldn't make it through a triple limerick or something like that. That's what this piece feels like as I'm reading it, because I bite my cheeks. I have to pause to keep from laughing and disrupting the flow that is so beautiful. It is part of the punchline. And that's the thing I appreciate about this. The story is fun. You can just see the dogs are having a ball. And there's communication, and the tails are wagging, and everybody's barking, and it is just go time. Let me out. We're going to have a great time. But the humor in it makes it that much better. It really does. It's like an extended limerick without, the rules and all that of AABBA. It's just her rhyme scheme is beautiful and on point and makes this so much more enjoyable. So I have really enjoyed reading it. Go ahead, Zach. What are your thoughts? Or did you go already? You did. I did. You went first. I'm sorry. Boy, we're ready to move on, aren't we? I wonder what we're getting next.
All right. Next up, we have Bear Jaguar's piece, and that one is Where Poppy Flowers Grow, and I'm going to give that one a read. Listen to my rampant dreams. Tumultuous is their uproar. Evident are my spasms, trembling, flood of images. Sweat droplets are moisturing my nightgown. Sticky, succulent, cool, wet silk. Touch my flowy hair, resting sleepily on a cotton cushion. It will take you on the fields of galore where poppy flowers grow. There, where one special field of golden wheat is. Dreadful wrath will not touch you while dreaming with me. We fly into the periwinkle horizon, towards the giant crimson sun. The stellary god fills us with radiance from diamond-shaped sun rays. Then, upon the whitest whipped creamy cloud, we make love, hidden among massive mirage of glittering droplets. End poem.
Wow, what a beautiful, beautiful piece. Zach, good read too. Bear, I've been friends with Bear for quite some time too, and this brand of sensuality is so beautiful in my mind. Well done, Bear. I'm gonna say that, because this is so sensual, but never even comes close to making you feel smutty or dirty or anything like that. It's just beautiful. The descriptors, and upon the whitest whipped creamy cloud, we make love, hidden among massive mirage of glittering droplets. That is just a beautiful scene. It really is. That's such a strong closing on this gorgeous, sensual piece. I went, aw. I did. I was like, aw. Zach was reading it. Oh, that is so sweet. And I'm sure my wife's really going to enjoy this whenever I play this back for this episode and she gets to listen to it. It is well done, Bear. Well done indeed. I really enjoyed it listening to Zach read it and me reading along. The descriptors are beautiful and the sensuality is there. Well done. Zach, your thoughts? You read it.
Yeah, this one flowed really nicely. It was fun to read. I'm not used to reading lines that are so varied like this. Like some of the lines are just one word, but yet they flowed so well because of the way they're spaced. It's a kind of a shape poem almost in that way. And I just really like the way it flows. It's like a waterfall. And I just like the array of colors that I see. You have the sun with the horizon, and the clouds, and like underneath of that is the field of golden wheat where poppy flowers are, and love making with that is certainly nice. And I just love that combination together is very it's almost dreamlike, and very well written in this piece. I really, it's pretty. It really is, all the way through, and it's sensual, but never smutty or raunchy or anything like that. It's perfectly sweet. It's well done.
No, it sure was, Zach. I mean, seriously, I envy that. And I am green with envy because writing sensual pieces is hard to do without moving into areas you don't want to move into, but this never even approached the line. It was just
Effortless.
sweet, beautiful, effortless. Absolutely, Zach. I agree. What do we got now, buddy?
All right. Next up, we have Don Gonzaga's poem, and that is Prometheus Ascending, inspired by Frankenstein. And that's your read.
Inspired by Frankenstein. Interesting. Calculations, tribulations, love to divide my time, unknown to the public, fearing cynical clinical trials. Alchemic breath, the future. I'm chemically castrated by laws of men and those with lesser skills demonstrated. Heaving shovelful overhead, grasping pressed, pine hiding my prize, immoral beggar to the dead, continuing to refine secrets of a mind. Cracking skies supplied by Zeus will further loosen this earthly noose. Godly ambitions achieved. Of course, the gods relish my muse, for power over life itself will have me standing par. With beings crowding clouded skies, fearing man has come so far. No good deed unpunished, as they continuously pelt me with sticks and stones and heretic revelry. Unknown to them, the angelic goal of taking pieces to make them whole. Thoughts and dreams and soon skin seems to hold inside his mighty soul. In my final moments, I did slip to disrespect this next of kin. For the first words from my lips, I said it instead of him. If a man has passed the pearly gates, shown his manner, and earned his fate, be it sin or unnatural crime, to pry him back from the other side. End poem. Happy Halloween, guys. We're getting there, aren't we? That was a great poem to end the show, Zach. I'm glad it come in that way.
Oh, totally. That wow. That was it was elegant. It was an elegant piece. It reminded me of it definitely brought me into the mind of the creature a bit, created by Frankenstein, and the doctor, Dr. Frankenstein himself. I thought that I like the scientific foundation of it. How there's like a sense of like not only like there's a sense of science and religion sort of combined together, and the speaker observed both, and I really like how that is done, and to combine sort of those sort of two schools of thought, in this, and that's quite a muse, as the speaker says, power over life itself, and that power over life itself, is reflected in the last stanza. Especially, I really enjoyed that one. Especially, was my favorite. It's very it very clearly states, is it like questions philosophically the notion of snatching back someone from the pearly gates after they die. Is that truly the right thing to do in the speaker's mind? And it ends into question. So clearly the speaker intends finding out. And it's spooky that way. And definitely is well written. And it brings me to, again, the mind, both the creature and the and Dr. Frankenstein himself. But really, all he's doing is contemplating bringing the creature back to life. I don't think he's actually done it yet, but he's got the idea, and it's kicking around in there, and it's really, I really enjoyed it. Thanks for sharing this one. This was a good one to end on.
I agree, Zach. It was a great one to end on, because we'll go down from here. We're heading towards Halloween, and Frankenstein on Halloween, that's not a bad thing. So 'tis the season, and very well done, Dawn. I really enjoyed. It wasn't a retelling of the Frankenstein story at all. It wasn't. It was more of an introspection, I thought, from the mind of the Dr. Frankenstein as the monster was being created in early stages, when he's grave robbing and doing those things. And he has to have that kind of inner dialogue, I guess, of, why don't they understand what I'm doing? This is a positive thing. Well, it is kind of negative, So there's that twisting and turning that you could feel all the way through the piece. And it was neat. It was not scary. It was, again, we'll use the word contemplative, Zach. I was thinking about it. Where would I be on, on that side of it? Obviously, if it was my loved one and they were back, would you do it? Right. Would you? That's what I was thinking about the whole time. Like, you understand. And that is the premise of the whole Dr. Frankenstein arc. And I'll comment on this poem first, but then I have to say, one of my favorite depictions of the monster was actually in the movie Van Helsing. Loved the way the monster was depicted there. And it's been done over and over and over again in different ways, from like Young Frankenstein to Van Helsing to, the actual movies and books and things like that. So this was a fresh take that I appreciated to wrap it up. Well done, Dawn. Really enjoyed this. Really enjoyed it. It was great to end the show on. What do you think, Zach? Anything else? You got anything?
Oh, that was the last piece.
It was, wasn't it?
It was.
We're gonna have to recalculate how many we can do in a show, I think. But the way we've got this set up, it's just kind of how it goes. Sometimes if you get a bunch in a row that are shorter pieces, you get through the show very quickly. But I felt like we did spend some time commenting on everybody's and did it very thoroughly. And again, I'm going to mention this because I see Tressa is still hanging out with us. Tressa, when she comes on board in the next show, will have 3 readers and commenters. So it will slow the pace, and it will actually make us better at commenting because we'll have a little more time to think about these poems and absorb them, plus the other opinions. Because one of the things that I appreciate about this, and Zach and I are growing together in this endeavor, We talk about it all the time. We're becoming more natural in our give and take as far as how we communicate here on the show. But also, Zach has a perspective that is different from mine. And I love hearing him comment on poems first, because then it directs me a little bit better. And I'm sure it's the same way, Zach. You've told me you like listening to me comment too. And also come back with the comment that whenever you say something that I'm like, oh my Lord, I didn't even think about that. And Zach picked up on it. So we would do these things, and we're growing into it naturally. And when Tressa comes on board with us in the next show, we're going to have that run between the three of us. So I want to get it out there again, guys. This is so much fun. It's so much fun, and it is casual. And Zach, what was the last thing you said to me when we texted each other before this show? It's the same thing we say to each other every week before we run. There's anxiety until we start reading.
That's right.
There's anxiety till we start reading.
The good kind. Yes.
Then it's just Zach and myself reading your poetry and commenting on it. And there's no right or wrong. You know, we're not perfect readers. We'll stumble on words and stuff like that. But what we do want you to hear is our emotions, our minds turning on the words that you put together so well. We want to always do them honor and do them justice. And we try as best we can, because it's a genuine love of poetry. And man, you guys are a bang up group. That was a great lineup of poetry. It really was. It was a great lineup of poetry, top to bottom. I had so many enjoyed. What do you think, Zach? That range, yes, great range.
Yeah. Oh yeah, from like a variety, like I had love pieces and like a little bit horror in there, and landscapes, like darkness and light a little bit. I really enjoyed the lineup this week.
Oh, I really did too. And I'm going to be honest with you. One of the things that I appreciated most, and I was thinking about this part of it, was Shyamala's poem, where it came in. It was like a refresher in like a 7-course meal, a palate cleanser. You cleansed your palate, you had a good laugh, and then we moved on to some other great poems that were a little more serious natured in tone. Such a great job, guys. And I'm just going to keep saying it. Such a great job. We have assembled a group of poets that are spectacular in their own right. And it's everybody top to bottom. We've led off shows and ended shows, and the range is just amazing what you guys do. We're honored to do this. We are really honored to do this. So if you feel like you want to join us, Parchy, all you got to do is reach out. Zach or myself will help you coach. We'll help coach you up and get you to the point where you understand what's going on, and then we'll do a practice run. Tressa, it was easy when we did the practice run, wasn't it? I'm going to have one last serious announcement. Tressa said, "Yep," if you guys didn't read that, exclamation point as well. One last thing, guys. Poet of the Month, you can submit until Yumpy put on an October 21st deadline. And I believe it is only for poetry you have written in September. Okay, so it's running a month behind. So this Poet of the Month show will be from poems from September, unless I'm mistaken. And he's clearly written out all the stipulations and rules on the topic board. All you got to do is take a look at it. Be plain as day, follow the rules, submit your poem. We'll get a show together on that at some point in time after it's all said and done and judged and everything's wonderful. Do we have anything else we need to announce, Zach?
Oh, I don't think so. I mean, I'm just thinking about thanking everyone who participated in the group and sharing your minds and your poems with us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you's definitely in place for sure, guys. Thank you always. Thank you. every time. We're grateful for all of it. Oh, yes, Zach. I know you were waiting for me to push that button, weren't you, buddy?
Yeah, man.
I do love the exit music. Is so much fun because now we got a way to end the show that Zach and I both understand. Guys, I want to thank every single one of you that have joined us here live and taken the time out of your day. I know the schedule changed, and I apologize for that because my work schedule changed. But we got through it. We did a great show, Zach.
We did get through it.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to do the playback. I always get so excited because listening to the show post fact is completely different than living in it, isn't it, Zach?
Sure, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're going to say goodbye to everybody on the board. Zach, as always, man, killed it. Thanks for your help, buddy. I couldn't do it without you.
All right, Bill. Good to see you again.
Till next time, guys.
Next time.